and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this evening's live, there's a few different things we have to talk about, not just the price action right now. We'll continue to update about XDC, as I know there was a few of you who we talked last night and we discussed the how I was waiting for a potential breakout with XDC, and it did have about a 15% rally. It pulled back pretty much the whole way besides 3.2%. But there was an opportunity initially, and we'll continue to watch if there's going to be a continuation there, or if that was just a case just like XRP. We had some built up pressure, and now we could go into a heavier consolidation. So we'll look at that as well this evening. Obviously, we need to take a look at XRP as it's down 2.86%. And for anybody who's new, it's pretty simple when you understand what transpired and why it actually fell today. So what happened is we fell out of this descending consolidation here. You can call it whatever you want as the formation. I'm not here to judge on how you want to pronounce what kind of patterns we're in or whatnot. But we needed to hold that 54-cent mark, which was very important. As it turned out, if we lost this structure, the technical target on a drop down was right about 52 cents, which ironically or just conveniently enough is right on the rising channel support as it is right now. So we're trying to back test right now, and if we hold it, we should have a pretty big rally, at least to the top side here. But it continues to get rejected on that rising channel resistance. So what becomes a scary thing here is there's two things. One, we didn't necessarily get the best, well, actually three things. One, we didn't get the best news in regards of certain things within the USA today, which could act as a catalyst to drive money out of XRP in the short term. Two, we keep getting rejected by this rising channel resistance. Three, if this does come down here, this could act as a right arm and then pull us all the way down here. So we need to make sure that this isn't building into something like that. Because where it's at right now, it puts you in a very scary predicament here. Because I'm going to take away this because we already filled out that technical move. So everybody who was watching understands what happened there. Now we came back up. I don't even care about that formation. Now that it played out, can everybody see why we were able to understand what was going on here? And it felt like more than not that this was going to break out. I know in hindsight it always looks easier when you start to see it. But this is why we were saying, if you're new, you won't understand yet. But to the older viewers or the ones that have been around for a while that watch this transpire, the reason why I called that a mini bull flag within a bigger bear flag is because it forms something like that. The overwhelming drop is still larger than the pull up. But even if it was bearish, it looked like it had an opportunity to come up to that 54 cents. And even if bearish, it could come back down. So that's all I was saying before the break up. Now we had that nice 10%. It was a little bit more, about 13%. But I called it a relief rally. I did get some criticism, believe it or not, in the comments, which I actually appreciate that people would actually go through their links to give me some criticism, you know. It helps the analytics. But they told me that a relief rally is a made-up term. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to that because, yes, that's just what I call it. So, made up or not, that's exactly what happened. So, so you can have that one. I don't need to win them all. I'm just glad that we're able to predict that move. Now, with that rejection at 54 cent area, now you're one rejection away here from 52 cents to having a retest of the cup and handle formation here, which is right about 50.7 cents. And just so everybody, if you're new, the older viewers here, at least will be able to reassert. But we're in a cup and handle formation. On the handle, the test of support is right around 507. The other bearish thing today is not just that we have a death cross, not just that it's been confirmed by the 20 cross and the 200 and now the 50 through the 200. But if that wasn't bad enough, now we have a reversal candle in the daily, a long leg doji. So if you don't know what a long leg doji is, it's this candle. And all it's telling you is the wick on both sides are equally, the wick up and the wick down are of equal length, and it condenses to the middle. So this is still squeezed a little bit. This is what I'm talking about, how it gets tight like this. You should get a little bit tighter here. Right now, it's more bearish than bullish. It's much more bearish. So that's a long leg doji. What that signifies is you have indecisiveness in a pattern. If you're going up and you see it, that's often the signs of the pattern needing a little bit of correction and there's not enough buyers in the area. If it's going down and you see it as right here, it's signs that you have indecisiveness and it's likely going to go up because there's not enough sellers in this area. Up here, there's not enough buyers, so it'll likely come down. But it is very much determined by the next candle or two. This one had a fake out, but ultimately ended up as a gravestone doji, which is a bullish continuation candle. But, you know, it doesn't have to break up, but the next candle does decide it all. So this gave it validation here, even though you had the initial pull down. So you have to be careful because they do get pretty tricky. But everything here, unfortunately, seems to be leaning a little bearish here. After the 54 cents, now it's looking a little bearish again. So we'll see if it does come down past 52 cents if 50.7 cents holds. If not, then it very well might be up next. And that doesn't mean you would just go down to that 34 cent and some change targets we've seen after that multi-year uptrend was lost, or the rising channel, because you have this uptrend here that goes back. This pattern started in January of 2018 when we hit all-time highs at 330 to 350 depending on exchange. Then it took us a series of 27 months to get back down to create the uptrend at just over 10 cents. This uptrend's been intact ever since then. So over 4 years. So this is a 78-month consolidation. So I find it hard to believe that this pattern's just going to give way and then just stop at 34 without coming all the way down to the next uptrend, which would be another length down, and that would be going back to 2015 now. So got to be very careful with coming through that uptrend, because if that happens, well, you could have a scenario where it's a massive breakdown. And I know a lot of people don't want to see that, but it could be a scenario where you could get something and then it just, you know, everything goes crazy. So what you need to do is break that downtrending resistance in order to continue on. That's what you really need to do. Hasn't happened in years, and we got another rejection in 24. So that's something that we have to watch very closely. Very, very closely indeed. XDC, before I get into this news about Ripple. XDC had a nice little move. And it looks like it's got a nice inverted hammer candle here. Like, these are very bullish candles. Like, we very well could have a nice continuation. It's just, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting here because XDC does look to have some room here. It's just we consolidated. And now the question is did we consolidate enough? We have the bullish cross. We came down and touched that area. So it looks like we could possibly have more continuation to the upside here. Now, like I said earlier, I would be more interested if it comes back to the true uptrend. So I'll have my radar on at 376 is where I would be starting to look for a possible rebuy. But it was a nice morning because it made me over $500 on those 130,000 plus tokens. And I was able to get out around 13%. So I'm not upset at all. At all. But I did map it out so that I could see exactly what I was dealing with here. So this is what I'm looking at here when you bring it into the longer term. So I've got two areas of interest. The first one is if we just hold this newfound pattern here, and this could be the extension back out and all the way to the top, because at some point if it breaks to the top side, it's going to 5.7. So that's the technical target. The first target is up back to that downtrending resistance if you break out of this target. The short-term consolidation, you're going to come up here and try to resist or hit that rejection again. So there is some opportunity there. If and when it's ready, I'm looking for, just like I did before, an opportunity if it reaches it. Not saying it's going to, but if it hits that area where I'm like, okay, here we go. Here we go. So, what's the other bit? Oh, DGB, when it got back under 13.25, that was my last thing that I had on Uphold on that rebuy. And you know what? I can honestly tell you I took the rest of my money out because even though I made a few percent on it, I'll tell you a story. How about this? DGB, the buyback was at 12.06, 12.12, and when I sold it out, it was at 13.25. So it's a little bit of a move. It's not a lot, but if it was a normal swing trade, because it came through the support again, so I couldn't hold it. But just how much uphold cost me, and it was a lot, honestly. It was like right around there when I first bought it again. And it was at 13.25. So you're thinking, okay, there's 8% there. There's 8%. So on 100,000, 120,000 tokens, I should have made a few dollars, right? That's like $1,800 or $1,700 when I bought it. Well, between the buy and the sell, it cost me $160. So you figure I made $150 something on the swing trade. I lost $17 on the trade, even though I made 8.2%. So once I seen I was negative after that swing trade, and it wasn't meant to be a swing trade, it's just I have a limit order at a certain area because if it breaks down, it's coming way down. And it was just the last amount of money I had an uphold, and that just re-emphasizes why I can't use it. My XDC swing trade that I did on MEXC, because they don't have it on BITUNIX, it cost me $2 on the in, $2.75 on the out. I made $500 and something. It cost me $4.75 in fees. Had that have been on uphold, I would have been looking at over $200 in the buy and sell. So I'm not supporting that no more. Even that little money I had left in there is no longer in there because that rubbed me the wrong way even more. So there's other ways to buy DGB. I've got other exchanges, and I won't support Uphold at all, except using them as my withdrawal wallet now. So if I need to, I'll send XRP to Uphold, and then I'll send it to my bank. But that's it. I'm not doing it no more, and if you want to get away from that kind of nonsense, look at the video description below and/or pinned comments. It's BitUNIX in the video description below and/or pinned comments. Lowest spot and leverage trading fees I found in the USA. When I make trades on BitUNIX, it's the same as MEXC as far as the fees go, except it's allowed in the USA and you don't need a VPN. I've made so many trades on BitUNIX the same way. One of the bigger ones was the Gala trade. There's been a lot though, because there's other opportunities there as well. XRP, I've made some nice swing trades on there. So just join me over there if you don't want to use all the fees. And if you have the ability with MEXC so that you can get some of the ones that BitUNIX doesn't offer, I would encourage that too, as that's in the video description below as well. But I'm not going to continue to lose money to exchanges because I find it grotesque that I could make an 8% plus trade and lose money on Uphold. And you know what the excuse is? High times of volatility when I made the sale. Well, no shit. I caught it before the move up. Of course I would sell it on the move up. But then I get penalized, see? So that's unacceptable. So how are you supposed to make money like that? You're not. And then some people say just hold it. Well, if I just hold it, now it's down 6.4%. And more than that, it's down like 7 point something percent from where I sold it. So it's not like, oh, you can just hold it. But now it's just, I'm not supporting Uphold at all, period. They have no excuse to do it anymore now that they started offering staking, even though it's discontinued in the USA. And because they bring every shit token one could imagine on the exchange now. So there's just no excuse. I just can't do it. So I've found many alternatives now. But that's that. If we look at the problem here was, and why I have limit sales on this, everything but XRP is gone again. So there's no reason to ask me what I have. I've been very transparent, but this is a big M topping reversal. Had it not come up and did one of these, I just fear that now, if it gets rejected, it's coming all the way back down here. It's never shown the validation and retest on DGB. And I made great money on DGB. The first time up a couple 100%, and then the rebuy I would have made 8.2% roughly, but I ended up losing like about a 0.75%. So it doesn't feel very good, okay? Doesn't feel very good. But, you know, I learned my lesson once again. I'm like, you know, I have this little bit of money on here. I could just do this instead of sending it out. But I actually had a good plan with it. When I sold it out, I I sent it over for my commodity buys. So the profit is going where it needs to. But I've still got between XRP and then what I've got liquid on crypto exchanges. I've got, after the XDC, 6,300 liquid. And then I've got what I have in XRP. So I've got a lot of liquid in crypto right now. But I'm looking at XDC again for the next trade. And then when you look at it like this is what I kind of gathered here from DGB. It was in more of this little consolidation. One could maybe call it a pennant. It's kind of wide though. Basically what I did is I took the wicks out of here in the day, or I took the two overriding wicks on the top. I just basically said screw them, as if they didn't even exist, because they were obviously front running the pattern to a way that it was not established. And then it couldn't hold the retest. So for anybody asking, it's like, well, Tom, I mean, you're being overzealous and just getting rid of it. You like DGB. I do. But if I can buy DGB back, and now it's another 45% off, I like it even more. Because now it's back to where I initially started. So I expect something to happen here. Especially because when I'm seeing XRP, if it breaks below this rising channel, which it did once, and we can see that's a bearish reversal candle here in the daily, it's almost setting up for a nice play here, for a nice short here. I mean, if I might say so myself, this could be setting up for a short. Oh, I'm going to light it. And that doesn't mean that I don't like XRP, or that I'm telling you it's a pile of junk. Yeah, I'm just telling you it's setting up for what could be a short here. And then you have an opportunity to buy it cheaper. And I'm not looking to sell it. I'm looking to expand my bag here on the drop down. I don't have a lot of liquidity for no reason. I got a lot of opportunity here, and I was able to make some money this morning. We were able to make money last week together. And when I get into opportunities like this, I look at the market very, very closely. But only other things we really need to pay attention to is why Ripple decided to replace XRP with USDT for US clients. So Ripple's legal battle with the SEC has forced them to switch from XRP to stablecoin USDT for US-based on-demand liquidity transactions. So that is huge. And I would love to know what the audience has to think of this. And then we'll just read what this person says. Calm before the storm. XRP anticipating massive news. Ripple price analysis. So I don't know if this was speaking to the fact of what was happening with USDT, but I can tell you that's not exactly the best thing that could have ever happened. Please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. Less than half the people watching are hitting that like button. But I appreciate 121 people being here when it's very bearish out there. A lot of people have given up on XRP. And the other thing we need to talk about is the fake news. If you're wondering about HBAR, we had some misinformation with HBAR when it comes to Blackrock. See, yesterday, I didn't talk about it because I wasn't sure, and it didn't seem right. But there was a misinterpretation, which makes perfect sense. So Hedera's HBAR doubles down on misinterpretation of Blackrock announcement, then falls 25%. So we'll go over that as well. So we got a lot to talk about. Like I said, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. Also, by you hitting that like button, when you're searching or when somebody's searching through YouTube, I pop up in their news feed, whether you're new or older. And it was vital today to get the XRP info. And it's always vital to join the lives because we look at swing trade opportunities. And what did I tell everybody yesterday if you were here about HBAR? I said there's going to be some very unhappy people here today who bought that pump and then it's down tomorrow. And I was trying to be very, very clear with everybody that you don't buy the pump. And somebody wanted to buy the pump. And I told them, because they were up. Well, hold on. Shit. Did we plug this in? Sorry. They were up 76%, and they said they're going to buy 76% more of HBAR when it was at like 15.5, 15.8. And all I was saying was, yes, thank you, Julie, my love. JW said I was just saying, if you're up 76%, I would rather you sell 50% of your holdings and then buy it back when it gets cheaper. And that was at 15.5 or whatever. And I said, initially you might get lucky if there's a little bit more, But what happens when it starts to correct? And then it just, you bring your average up by 30-something% by doing that. So, yes, I don't have H-bar anymore. It was begrudgingly, but H-bar fell through the support that I couldn't hold it anymore. Where's it at? Did it fall? Oh, no, it's right here, Julie. Yes, Tanya, I do not have H-bar anymore. The only thing I own right now is XRP Healthcare. Julie owns Doge, which is obviously all our holdings, because Julie owns this with me. And so when I say it, this is between me and Julie. These are our holdings. We're in this together to win it or to be broke. And then I have XRP. XRP to me is different because I believe that I'm going to build up. I think I'm going to go 2 to 3 times more what I hit. Oh, I'm absolutely going to buy back H-bar. 0 questions. 0. But remember, H-bar was on my my uphold. So it's just a nice way to get it off of uphold with all these pumps that we've had. And I wanted to get everything off of uphold. That's the bottom line. Because I'm sick of those damn fees. You should have just seen, yeah. But now the question is, and the question is real. It's a real question, Tanya. It's a real question. Look at how this broke up out of here now. And now we're back testing. So with that big of a breakup, is it more likely that this is the start of a W reversal and we come up to double top? Or was it all fake news? Because let me be honest, the sell volume doesn't necessarily suggest it was fake news. Like, that's not suggesting that that's the reason necessarily why this whole thing pumped. Now, we're going to get into the H-bar stuff, but I wanted to show the analysis before I did my intro. But we got a lot to talk about. I'm very excited about this live. I'm very excited that some people decided to show up because I believe it's not just about the journey or about how we get to the end. So when we're all sitting here and if things play out the way we want, that's not what we're going to tell everybody. It's going to be about the journey together from beginning to end through the ups and downs, the ebb and flows. And you're going to have a lot of stories to tell about how you had the persistence, the understanding, and the testicular fortitude to make it until the end. So with that being said, I'm going to say the intro. We're going to get into all of the charts because there's so much to talk about. And I just thank each and every one of you. And please make sure to hit that like button so we can help advance this audience and more people can reach you beautiful people. Because we really do have a beautiful thing we do here. And every single day you all humble me by showing up. You humble me more than you'll know just by showing up. And today I'm proud to say we went over 21,500 subscribers finally. As we were chomping on the bit here yesterday at about 497. And we just jumped over today. So I am so blessed to have that many people subscribe to me. It's absolutely insane. So with that being said, good evening. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibite. Oh, gee. I seen somebody say that in the audience. Now, for the ones who don't know, that's what I used to say many years ago when I started it, about 3 years ago, or just over 3 years ago, but it was too long. It was hard to get my name out there. So I condensed it into XRP Future Millionaire. And I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I still wanted to, you know, have it sounding pretty nice for the audience. But, you know, sometimes you have to turn it in a different way. So let's get to some comments here. And then we've got a jam-packed show here, as you can already tell. Jam-packed, full of good vibes, right? You want to fly high on positive vibes. That's what I'm going to say from now on. And you know what my grandpa used to say? He came over on the boat from Italy during the Mussolini time. Some of you know. He's passed away in 2001. But he used to tell me in broken English, you work hard when you're young so you can enjoy it when you're old. So basically, you work hard when you're young so you can relax when you're older, so you can enjoy your fruits of your labor when you're older. And he used to say that to me over and over and over again when I was a kid, and I'm so glad he did. My dad re-emphasized it as we were growing up. And, you know, it was tough when we were growing up, obviously. But my dad's doing very well now. I've made it very nice for myself now. I'm not saying that I'm rich or anything because I've got a long ways to go. But it's not a bad deal when you have your house paid off at 40. So I'm very blessed to do what I do. And a big part of it is how just those simple trades like on Friday or Thursday when I told everybody about XDC that I bought 135,000 tokens roughly. May have been a little bit less than 135. And I just said, I see an opportunity here. I'm going to sit in it until, and I have this, if it comes down and I show the 3.8 level, I think it was somewhere around there. And that's just what I do. And it took, 4 days for it to pan out. And there's my $500 for the week. Just there's some extra cash that I was able to take out. And I get to do what I need to do. Now, it could have been a little bit better had I realized that potential gains out of DGB. It could have been a $650 day, but I lost that $150 in fees on uphold. So it's a very big kick in the old. The article is probably fake. I don't know what article you're referring to. But we'll see. We'll go over it together. See, we can sniff out the fakes together when we have to. But remember this morning with XRP, I came on twice and I was getting shadow banned very hard this morning. So I was trying to get my content out, but if it doesn't get out, it doesn't get out. But when we talked about XRP this morning, I put out an update. Hell, I'll just to see if anybody's seen it, because a lot of you are always surprised when I show stuff. But I put out the first update. It's got 643 views. Now the second one's got 733. So I kind of clumped them up. So I didn't put out a short today, but I tried to make it as easy as possible. As you can see, that drop didn't happen yet, but I put the exact technical target there. I just said, XRP holders, this is urgent. XRP must hold 54 cents to avoid the 3.5% drop. Well, now it's hit that 3.5% drop here now. Actually, it was about 4%. Should have said 4.5% is what it was supposed to say. But I mistyped it. But that's okay. Oh, no, it's not, because it was where it came through. It was where it came through, so it was right. So, right now, though, we've touched that 52 cents. So what I want to know, because the technical target is filled up, is this done, or do we see a much bigger drop coming because the daily time frame is suggesting that this is... Ooh, actually, with that pull down, it makes it a little bit interesting here. So what do we think? Do we think with what's going on here that this is overtly bearish? Or do we think there's something bigger going on? And please, if you're trading XRP with me, look at BITUNIX. No matter where you're at in the world, because when we do these swing trades, yes, I have my bag, but I also like to swing trade it as well. So when we get this drop, if it does drop, be ready to swing trade with me. Because I won't hold them all. I'll have a certain percentage that needs to be sold, but then there's going to be a certain percentage that gets put away. So let's say I buy $4,000 worth of XRP, hypothetically. On that swing trade, we'll say it's a swing trade. Let's just say it makes me $500. Automatically, $500 is reinvested. And by that, I mean, I keep $500 more than likely in new XRP. Or if it was such a good deal where I bought it cheap, I just won't sell it till it finishes its entirety of its move. So there's many different ways to capitalize on this right now, but you must have a main bag. If you're going to swing trade, and I don't do it by leverage, so if you're like, oh, we're going to leverage trade with Tom. When I talk to swing trades, I could have very easily swing traded XDC on a 5x, 10x leverage, but that very easily could have lost the money before the move. So I like to trade it on a 1x trade, just a straight trade, nothing fancy, because I believe spot is king. Oh shit, somebody did ask about Pepe. I don't know though. I don't watch it, but I would anticipate that it's going to come down very, very hard. That's a meme token to the extent that you can have one. And I understand there's a lot of YouTubers that talk about it. But let me tell you a quick, easy thing to do. Ready? Please just pay attention. And I'm not saying nothing, remember, I didn't say this. See that? Where's it at? Why is it Pepe Jean? No. Because I'm noticing this all too much. I'm gonna. But I got sent a message. I'm gonna have to find it. I got sent a message to promote Pepe a long time ago, and they were offering to give me tokens to talk about it. Same thing with Pika Moon. I wanted to talk about it initially, but then they started sending me stuff, and it made me very hesitant because they were gonna send me tokens to talk about. I can't do that. I won't talk about stuff like that. So, just be very wary when you see stuff that are being promoted by every YouTuber, and this one's going to $5, this one's going to $10, this is the next $5 token, this is the next 10x token. When you see that lingo, that just means I just got paid a boatload of money to say this. So, not me personally, I should, but I just don't want to do it because then no one's going to trust me when I have real stuff to talk about. So, can't do it. But let's get through some of this reading before everybody leaves. But first, Bitcoin is at 64,000 right now. Spot everything, especially. Yes, silver's another great one. Silver, gold, precious metals. Like I hold physical metals and then I trade the commodities. And as some of you know, my B2 gold position's still open. It hasn't come out yet. It's got a little bit of room here unless it breaks down. But we're already in massive profits there, so I got a lot of leverage there. Here's Bitcoin, though, breaking out of this formation, just like XRP on its formation. And this technically, it has a technical target of 50,599 as of press time. We do have this W reversal, though, until it gives way on this neckline. I'm not even willing to say it's going to break it yet. It's got a lot of room down. It's just in a weird spot because it was in a formation there, but you want to see how tricky it can be. So we have that there, but let's be honest with ourselves. With the evidence we've gotten, couldn't one just say it went up, came down, and you know what, Tom? Someone's probably not there. That's the wrong spot. What are you doing? Then I look like a complete idiot. But I'm sure someone's trying to make this connection or this leap, right? Hey, Tom, it's a pennant flag. That's a pennant flag. You're wrong. Fine. There you go. Right, but you see how simple, see how easy technical analysis can change on you? I'm just saying. Oh, yeah, I have too. Well, I take it back. I forgot about Flare. Okay, I own one thing on Uphold. I completely forgot about Flare. Flare, I've just had those 10,000 tokens there forever, and they've been getting airdrops. So it went from 10,000, I'm up over 12,000. I completely forgot about Flare. See, I don't talk about it because in my own mind, I don't own it. Because I just hold it for the airdrops on Uphold. So, fuck, I forgot about Flare. I was thinking I was free and clear. I forgot about Flare. I like Flare. That's one that I don't mind storing there just because I do get the airdrops. But damn it, I forgot about that one. Whoops. So I do have one link left on Uphold. Those bastards get me every time with something. But yeah, 50,500 is interesting if it were to break down. But this first level here, you could see even if it comes down to 59,700, if that's what it is. But we have underneath here is the broadening wedge at 58,264. So, yeah, we got a lot going on here. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ridiculous. Yeah, I forgot I have Flare on Uphold, so I'm not completely off Uphold. Oh, he's sleeping? Interesting. So that $500 or whatever is still on there. Well, it gets airdropped, so that's why I keep it. The only thing that scares me with Flare is it has 100 billion total circulating supply. And what is there, 15% in rotation right now? That's not necessarily good. But if they want to keep giving me free tokens, I'll keep them. I bought it so cheap that I'll just keep taking them. Yeah, T fell asleep again while I'm doing my lives. He falls. He did have a big. Well, he's starting school. Everybody, everybody knows he's developmentally delayed who watches, and he was in a bad car accident when he was 6 months old. Broke his femur, had some issues from it, but he's starting his occupational therapy, his speech therapy, and his extended physical therapy now. He gets to start going to school for 3.5 hours a day. On May 6th, he starts. It's like a preschool, right, Julie? Mm-hmm. Isn't that what it is? Yeah, kind of like a preschool.
It's just special education.
Yeah, it's a special education preschool. So there's going to be a lot of kids like him, and it's going to be the best thing for him. And it's in our district. It's a special program, so we're fortunate where we live. So he gets to do that for 6 weeks going into the summer, and then he'll go back next year for the whole school year. So I'm very excited because, as all of you who've been watching the journey, he's had a lot of issues since his accident. So let's read this real quick. So why Ripple decided to replace XRP with USDT for US clients? And is this a real article? Because I have seen this in multiple places. That's my question. Does anybody know? Is this validated? But it was something that I've really wanted to talk about. I couldn't really talk about it with anybody else besides my audience because nobody cares. So XRP USDT convert and swap XRP to Tether USDT. The current XRP to USDT conversion. No, that's not what I want. I typed it wrong. What did I do? Ripple replaces XRP, whoops. USDT. Yeah, see, this is what I've been seeing a lot of. Yeah, this is more than just the article I have. I've been seeing a lot of this now, so I decided to talk about it. Yeah, I could see that until the stablecoin comes out. Yep, that's probably why the stablecoin has ultimately had to be coming out and not an XRP. I'm going to let my cat in, then we're going to read this because this is very interesting. Hi, Julie. How are you, my love? Feeling good? Good. Feeling accomplished? So if T's asleep right now, what time is it? Almost 8?
7:15.
7:15?
Yeah.
That's pretty early. You think you'll sleep until 7 in the morning? Yesterday he slept from what, like 8:45 until 9? Yeah. You think he'll sleep 12 hours right now? Or do you think he's going to get up? I would say he's probably going to get up.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Alright, so let's read this article. I apologize. I just wanted to bring my kitty in. And everybody tuning in, thank you all so much. If you do appreciate my work, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the over 21,500 subscribers. No, it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing with this happening with XRP. I think it's to be expected. So let's read through this. Why Ripple? And then we're going to go through the H-bar information. As everybody knows, there was some fake news that was going on with the extent that, you know, H-bar had Blackrock on there. Well, we'll just go over it in a second. So why Ripple decided to replace XRP with United States Digital Tether for U.S. clients. And I find it interesting they went with USDT over USDC. And that just means to me that they know they can artificially print out Tether. So that's another interesting thing for me personally to see that connection. Like, why would you choose Tether over Circle when one's packed by US? I don't know. It was just weird to me. So why Ripple decided to replace XRP with USDT for US clients. Ripple's legal battle with the SEC has forced him to switch from XRP to stablecoin USDT for US-based on-demand liquidity transactions. So Ripple's core business has been changing due to legal battle with the SEC. In order to comply with what they believe is the law, Ripple has switched to United States Digital Tether. A court filing has revealed Ripple's dependence on XRP sales for profits prior to the SEC lawsuit. No kidding. I mean, if you were running a business, wouldn't you expect your supply to be how you make profits upon sales? It's not a far stretch to say if you are the running Ripple and XRP is the way that you fund it, when you do sales, that's how you profit the show. I mean, run the show when you make profit. That's how, any business will tell you the same thing. Any. Right? Lowe's, their product isn't XRP, it's the groceries on the shelf, or it's the supplies in the shop. The supply in the shop for XRP, which is Ripple, its supply in the shop is XRP. That's their way of making money. They try to punish them for having the price go up so they can make more money. No. We want the price to go up because then we can also make more money. That's how it works. So the SEC tries to make it look bad, but I don't know. It's so weird when you actually think about it. So this strategic shift stems from the SEC lawsuit, which alleges that XRP is a security, and its sales violated U.S. securities law, U.S. regulations. While the case is ongoing, the court summary judgment deemed XRP sales to institutions as securities offerings. This led Ripple to adjust its ODL operations to comply with the perceived legal landscape. According to the filings, Ripple has transitioned U.S.-based ODL customers from XRP to Tether USDT, a stablecoin pegged to U.S. dollar. This move ensures ODL remains compliant within the U.S. while minimizing disruption for its global customer base. An internal email from Monica Long, Ripple's president, further clarifies the company's actions. Following the SEC's ruling, Ripple swiftly migrated all U.S.-based ODL users away from XRP and adopted USDT, or in some cases Bitcoin, as the bridge currency. The email emphasizes the continued use of vetted stablecoins for U.S. transactions unless otherwise authorized by the legal department. This strategic decision allows Ripple to maintain its ODL service within the U.S. while navigating the legal complexity surrounding XRP. Meanwhile, Ripple's Singapore subsidiaries remain the primary contracting entities for XRP sales to new ODL customers, particularly those located outside the United States. This geographical shift underscores Ripple's focus on international markets where ODL transactions primarily occur, especially within the Asia-Pacific region. The court filing also sheds light on Ripple's financial dependence on XRP sales prior to the SEC lawsuit. Accounting expert Anthony Bracco's calculations reveal that without revenue from XRP sales, Ripple operated at a loss from 2014 to December 2020. This detail highlights the significant financial contribution of XRP sales to Ripple overall business during that period. That's like saying, if I run a grapefruit stand, I can't sell grapefruits and put those towards my overall profits, but anything else I sell within the ledger is fine. So anything else I have on the stand, like the bag of chips, is good, but the main product of sale, or the main point of interest, which is my grapefruit for my stand, I can't count that as sales. So, I mean, what are you supposed to do? The ongoing SEC lawsuit has undoubtedly reshaped Ripple's operational landscape. The company's strategic shift to stablecoins for U.S.-based ODL transactions demonstrates its commitment to compliance with safeguarding its global business interests. On the flip side, while XRP is no longer used for U.S.-based ODL transaction, it remains a primary liquidity source for ODL transactions outside the United States. Ripple's shift to stablecoins might be a strategic maneuver to navigate the lawsuit, not necessarily on admission of XRP being a security. To mitigate reliance on third-party stablecoins, Ripple is creating its own digital currency pegged to the U.S. dollar. Why does this matter? Ripple's shift to stablecoins for U.S. transactions highlights the ongoing regulatory uncertainty surrounding XRP. Additionally, Ripple's development of its own stablecoin suggests a potential strategy to navigate future regulations and seemingly integrate a Ripple-backed stablecoin into the ODL ecosystem, especially in the United States. While the recent Coinbase ruling cast a shadow over Ripple's case against the SEC, some experts believe altcoins could see significant gains. So that's interesting. I'm not going to read the middle one because I think we're going to run out of time if I do. And then I just want to read this about H-bar as well. So Hedera's H-bar doubles on misinterpretation of Blackrock announcement, then falls 25%. It is an interesting twist, Sean, and welcome in, my friend. Welcome in, my friend. I appreciate you tuning in. I try to be as good as I can to talk about how good or bad this stuff is. I don't really see it being anything of significance. I think it's the actual catalyst for why they decided to do the stablecoin, so that you can move some money in the USA and then they can go away from USDT. That's what I think. But we'll see. We'll see. There's no major impact unless you start seeing this being a overwhelming thing across the world. But the fact it's only in the USA, it's just more of a manipulating tactic, we'll call it. So Hedera's H-bar doubles on misinterpretation of Blackrock announcement, then falls 25%. The market gave back some of its earlier gains after realizing Blackrock wasn't directly involved in the tokenization on Hedera's blockchain. So I want to get a story that's from the most recent, from as recent as possible for this. Because then we can see if there was any more developments. Because that was from 16 hours ago when I read that. H-bar crypto drama, how Blackrock reports on Hedera token on a wild H-bar. Oh, this is nice. So we'll read this. So, unless it's going to show us too much. So, H-bar crypto drama, how a Blackrock reports on Hedera token on a wild ride. So, H-bar is a volatile crypto lately due to some confusion. This has to do with the Blackrock fund being tokenized. Reports caused a misunderstanding, with traders believing Blackrock itself tokenized the fund. So Hedera H-bar crypto has been incredibly volatile after a misunderstanding resulted in the token soaring higher yesterday. The confusion came from an H-bar Foundation report about a Blackrock New York or NYSE Blackrock money market fund being tokenized. Some traders initially interpreted the announcement to mean that Blackrock itself had tokenized the fund. However, it turns out that this was not the case. When that misunderstanding was corrected, it also resulted in changes for the H-bar crypto. All of this news is behind the wild ride that Hedera had been on these last couple of days. While H-bar isn't running nearly as high as it was during the initial announcement, the crypto is still benefiting from increased trading. This has it continuing to remain high even after the confusion has subsided. All of this news has H-bar up 31.3% over the prior 24 hours trading as of Wednesday morning. That comes alongside strong trading with volume up more than 2,657% during that same period. So that's just part of the misunderstanding. But it definitely crashed because a lot of people were taking this to heart. But this is what H-bar said. Today we witnessed RWA history as Blackrock, ICS U.S. Treasury Money Market Fund MMF is tokenized on Hedera, marking a major milestone. So by tokenizing them, MMF shares can be traded faster. And then they had to come out and say, to be clear, Blackrock, the actual institution, did not select H-bar for tokenizing a fund of theirs. Blackrock had no involvement whatsoever and has no connection to the protocol. What did happen was a H-bar project through the secondary market. So that's the truth of what's going on there. And that's why it's tough to jump to conclusions when things first come out, because a lot of times it turns out to be very untrue and misleading. And now you can see H-bar is down 22% on the day. It's down to 12.1 cents. And honestly, it could just be the start, because now all that liquidity to the top side, it could just come right back through. We'll see. But there's been an incredible pullback. It's not just 22%. From the top, this went up to 18.1 cents. It's down right now 35%. So we'll just have to wait to see what ends up really happening with the H-bar. But that's an incredibly, I think that's a traumatic event for H-bar, because nothing about Blackrock, it's nothing. It was a partner. It turns out to be a lot of, yeah. So still a member with XDC as we wind down here. If you do appreciate what I do, consider joining Tom's Army. Consider joining Tom's Army. I would love to see more people in Tom's Army. We've slowed down a little bit, but that doesn't mean in the months to come we won't gain new people. To the ones who are still part of Tom's Army, I greatly appreciate it. Or consider sending one YouTube super chat per month. No donations this evening. Not all days you get a donation, but a lot of people hit the like button. We've had 112 likes today, so that's going to help get the content out there. So I am greatly, greatly appreciating that. Oh, Casper. We'll look at Casper before I leave too. XRP Healthcare, as we talked about, and I tried to draw it out for everybody so we could see, which one was it? Right here. So if it breaks down, the next uptrend, so we haven't broke down yet, but if it does break down 5-1, then your next area would be 4-1. But we're trying to see where the next bounce point is going to be. We had to have a big correction, though. We were overbought big time. We haven't back tested the ultimate area down here. So it could come all the way down, as we said in the past, to 2.7 if this is a big M-topping reversal. So we'll see. Big opportunities to come. Like I said, once I suspended buying on this after it got to a certain level, and now I'm hoping it comes back down here and then I can start my buying again. But I have it staked away, so I have big hopes on this in the future as well. But still very positive. It's still up like 200% roughly. Or not 200, about 160. But it's not time yet. It's not time for ultimately what I want. So just pay attention, because it looks like short term, it's still got a bit of a correction to go. Especially because you can see it's short term. If this continues to drop, we could find ourselves into a very oversold predicament here. But if it comes through and mainly comes back through this 508 and it continues down, that's where you can say, okay, it's giving it back up. Right now, it hasn't given up the 4-hour 200 days so far. So let's see. Oh wow, I have to put this back up. And I still have a couple minutes here. Still got a couple minutes left in my voice. Still got a couple minutes. All right, so Casper's at 3.082 cents, down 3.82%. We all know where I stand on Casper. So it all depends. I don't want to just say it's going to come down there. We'll look at this is the overall formation it's in right now with Casper. So it's basically projecting, because right now, if it comes back down and holds this area at 2.5, you're talking, if it holds, see, this is the key. If it comes back down and we have to consolidate because you got a rejection here at the 20-day, let's just say it does come back down, because just like with XRP, this is showing a sign of a reversal on the daily. So let's just say it does come down. Let's just say it's at 3.1. And it comes down this 15, 16%. If it comes down, how did I do that? If it comes down there, that's an interesting area of contact there, but yeah, it's all projection here, though, because we came down on a wick, we came back up, but it could also start a lower pattern. So I don't know exactly what the intention here is for Casper, but I would say out of this whole bull run for some of the tokens, or at least Bitcoin's bull run, one of the most underperforming assets has been Casper. It hasn't really done much. Now, one could argue, who knows, maybe it does something like that. But it's very difficult to say because there's not much momentum here at all. It keeps breaking back down. But I would just say that's what I was showing if it came all the way down. But the one way you can do this, just so you can give yourself a real way to look at this, because everybody wants to know what the hell they're looking at, this. This is the only way you can do it to where it makes any sense, to where you can get a real fundamental understanding of the pattern. I was showing you all the other ways just so you could see some of the other thought processes. But this is how you'd have to do it. So does Casper hold, as this the bottom, at 2.5? Because once it bottoms, you know it's going to come back up here to resistance at some point in the future. And then that's at 5 cents. So I'm looking at a double bottom. But we also, just like with the rest of the patterns we're looking at across the market, we also have to understand if that turns into a W and it does something like that, I mean, you could very well find yourself. That would be if the whole market shifts, obviously. But we're within a support, resistance, support, resistance, support. Now does it swing back up? Because it never gave way. Comes all the way down. This doesn't give way, doesn't give way. Doesn't give way. It didn't even come all the way up, but doesn't give way. Didn't even come all the way down, but it still held that area. All the way down twice, you know. So this pattern is showing what it's doing. But you watch to see if it does break down or not. In the weekly time frame, I'd say it's in a better spot than a lot of them in the weekly. Look at the weekly volume. That weekly volume is crashing. At some point, this will have a bullish reversal. It's just it's showing a reversal candle to the downside right now, which is unfortunate. And the way the candle's ending is looking a little more bearish. But that doesn't mean it's not going to bounce back up in a hardcore fashion. So, but hopefully everybody enjoyed the live this evening. Please make sure you hit that like button before you leave. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let's see. And we'll help YouTube recommend this live, so I would greatly appreciate it all from all of you. Algo had a beautiful day to start. Huge drop down. It came up to the rejection point. And now it looks like it's gonna make one of two things happen. See, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, we very well could have a reversal day. And I only say that because XRP's right down at that 52-cent mark. And now look at this is right at the golden cross point on the 3-hourly. Let's see at the 4-hourly. Yeah, so it could possibly start this big reversal here, or because of how it came down so volatilely, we're going to continue to move down. And that's a rather volatile move that has to come way down. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. Because there's a lot of opportunity out here. Right now, gold, it's still hanging around. Hanging around at $2,316 an ounce. But it's one of those again. This could be on a reversal as well and trying to get some correction here. So we're watching it all. Not just crypto. We're watching it all. Watching it all. Right now it looks like it's trying to have a small reversal here for gold in the hourly. So it's had a couple days of consolidation. But this to me looks like, remember how we talked sneaky bull flags and inverted head and shoulder patterns? This is about as sneaky as you're going to get. Like boom, W. Couldn't this be the inverted right arm and then it just comes up, even if it's bearish, maybe comes up like 30, 40 bucks. But it looks like that's a sneaky flag here forming. So I wouldn't be surprised to see gold take a layer up, even if it's just to the rejection point at 23.40 or 50. But it certainly looks like it could take a move up here. So maybe in the next day or two, commodities will have a little bit of a move here to the upside, even if it's just 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5%. And then with silver, and then I got to go. Silver still below the Mendoza line, as I like to call it, at $27.56. Huge pivot line. Huge pivot line. So Want to make sure we hold that even though we're not right now. And then we've got a little bit of an uptrend forming, so almost back to the uptrend. So not all over yet, but that's a wide W reversal happening within the RSI to go back a little bearish here. So we're going to have to hold this midway point and then break back down. And break back down. I did not hear about Venezuela going crypto to sell oil. I'm going to have to look into that. I'll report back tomorrow on that. Thank you all so much. Have a blessed evening.